Welcome back to Teaching the Unteachables, where we dive into teaching and learning methodologies for professionals like you. This episode brought to you by HVAC Consulting Services, LLC. Learn more about JoJo the HVAC Man on YouTube at JoJo the HVAC Man. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining Did You Know, the ESCO HVAC podcast. So we're spending some time at the National HVACR Education Conference. And right now we're hanging out with my good friend, Joey Henderson. How are you, sir?
Good, sir. Thank you.
Oh, this has been so much fun, hasn't it?
Great. Had a great time. Excellent.
So let's dive into some passions of JoJo the HVAC Man, right? We know that you love so many things about this industry.
I do.
And you bring a wonderful, unique training perspective. And I love that. I love when we present things in a different, digestible manner because not everyone learns the same.
Nope.
Right?
That's right.
So we have to be able to give options and create options for delivering content. And I love when we bring in new examples of that. And you do that all the time.
Yeah, thanks.
So let's spend a little bit of time talking about let's call this the yes and no of airflow.
Yes, love it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you dive into airflow quite often in classes. And let's think about some of the things that we should be doing and let's think about some of the things that we shouldn't be doing when we're starting to talk about and diagnose airflow scenarios.
Yeah, so I just a little quick why it's a passion of mine because I've been in it 30 years and 15 of that was a tech rep for two different manufacturers. And a lot of the issues I went on was airflow and even more importantly was air distribution.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people didn't quite understand the difference between those two and the importance of it.
Yeah.
So I began to dig deeper and deeper into airflow and started becoming an airhead.
I love that. And that needs to be a sticker.
Yeah, I'm a true
airhead.
I stole that from somebody else, but I'll take it.
That's all right. It's fine.
But yeah, so and I realized that most technicians, well-meaning and installers, just didn't know any better.
Yeah, they
didn't understand it. So one of the biggest issues in my industry down in my area was the reverberable, is that the right word? Mm-hmm. Traditional sheet metal box with the octopus coming out of it, right? And they couldn't understand, why that was a problem, because air's getting somewhere.
Right. They just think we're moving it.
We're moving it, right?
Getting it out of here.
The fan's turning, the air, and sometimes you wouldn't see it really be affected, not necessarily freezing up a coil.
Yeah, true.
So, but what I was trying to get them to understand, so now we get into these scenarios now where more and more, I see a lot of companies, they have a good startup procedure.
Right.
They use the static chips and they stick them in there. But what they don't understand is that if the air isn't moving around, isn't getting out of the box, then they'll get a low static pressure reading. And they think they're good because the air is just pulling up inside that box like eddies over a river.
Yeah. So true.
And so one of the things I've tried to help them understand is that you can't use static pressure readings in a sheet metal box like that. It's not effective. It's not going to be accurate. And you can take it in 5 different places and get 5 different readings.
Oh, there you go.
So what I began to try to explain to them is that, use some other tools to show it's a problem, like do an amp draw on the motor.
Right.
See what kind of load it's under.
Yeah, that'll tell you a lot.
Yeah, that'll tell you a lot. And they didn't even think about that. And then, so my no is don't do that no more.
There you go.
Don't do the box. And, my yes is at bare minimum, take a squared around, which I'm amazed a lot of people don't even know what that is, which just blows my mind. But I've had a lot of comments from my YouTube training. People ask me, what is a squared around? Yeah. So squared around is basically a funnel.
Yeah.
Well, instead of being round at the top, it's square at the top.
Yep.
And then it's round at the bottom.
Yep.
And so we're taking a square dimension and we're smoothly funneling that airflow down to the round, and then it gets to straighten out.
Exactly.
And so bare minimum, if you got a box and you're like, well, I don't have enough space. So understand, I've tore out and installed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs in tight attics and tight crawl spaces.
Right.
And where you would think well, it's impossible to do, a trunk line or whatever, but you can do a squared around and a round Y
Mm-hmm.
and split your trunk line left and right. And the distance between a squared around and round Y is roughly about 2.5 feet.
Oh, sure.
Well, if you've got that for a box, you've got that for a squared around and round Y.
Yeah.
And the return acts the same way.
Okay.
But we've got to oversize the return compared to the supply
Yeah.
to keep it quieter and to keep the velocity down.
Definitely.
And that's another thing too, is a lot of people don't realize that when they start putting in these high static boxes and bullhead tees, if you've got a constant CFM motor that's ramping up like a hurricane to overcome it,
Trying to overcome. Yeah.
well, now you kill your filtration,
Yeah, sure.
because a lot of people know that air filters are designed off of velocity as well as CFM. And if it's going too fast, try to catch tell people all the time, I said, catch a baseball in your glove at a normal, whatever, 80, 90 miles an hour pitch, right?
Okay.
But now shoot it out of a cannon
Right.
and try to catch it. It'll blow a hole right through the glove.
There you
right?
go.
And
That's
if
good
you're
perspective.
screaming air right through the darn filter,
Yeah.
it's not going to catch all the particles it's supposed to catch.
Absolutely. Can't do what it's supposed to do.
It can't do what it's supposed to do. And especially these really nice electronic air cleaners, well, they got a low pressure drop as long as you have the right velocity going through.
Yeah.
Right.
Indeed.
And so that was so take off the boxes, do a squared around and a round Y. The other, and just doing a lot of studying and looking at manual D and flex ductulators, we know that when they measure the airflow through flex duct, it's put on the machine straight and tight.
Yeah.
Right?
When was the last
Oh,
time
yeah,
you seen a straight
right,
flex duct?
exactly. So I said, you know what? If you go up one size from what you would
From
think
your
of
design.
your design pipe size.
Yeah. Your
right?
design metal round
Right.
straight pipe size.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go up the next level. So if you ran an 8, and I realized we could get real specific on 7s and 9s and 11s, and I'm just trying to keep it simple,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Keep it big.
So, I stopped running 6s.
Mhm.
So I ran all 8-inch flex supplies with a hard metal trunk line. And anytime you take a turn with flex, just put a hard elbow. Stay away from the kinked flex, right?
Smooth it out.
Right. So every run, I would order 2 elbows,
Right.
right? One for the takeoff,
Horizontal, one
front.
vertical.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I came off my trunk line straight and tight, okay, I didn't need an elbow.
Yeah.
But I had an elbow on every single floor boot coming out or every ceiling register
Absolutely.
going in.
Yep.
And then we avoided the kinking and the restrictions.
Sure.
If you do that, take your returns flex. Now, and remember, return's supposed to be bigger anyway to keep that noise down and keep the velocity down.
Mhm.
So a lot of guys would do they would come out with a 16-inch pipe and then they would wire it off to 2 14 flexes. Well, that'd be like reducing it down to 2 12-inch hard pipe.
No, see you. Sure.
So I said, keep the same size flex. So go 16 hard pipe to 2 16 flexes. And now that's equivalent as if you did go to 2 14 hard pipes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I see where you're going with that. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the restriction rate of flex duct in comparison to what we typically calculated with metal. And there is a difference.
And the bigger the flex, the less airflow capacity it has
Sure.
because of the ridges.
Right. Absolutely.
Even if you pull it straight and tight, and I tried to pull it off the other side
Yeah.
so tight, but still you stick your hand in there,
Yeah, there's still turbulence.
big old deep violence, and it causes the valleys cause the turbulence, and you got to account for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great perspective to sit and look at is, it's a good time to challenge some of the norms of the industry.
Isn't it? I'd love to give this illustration, and someday I'm going to create this in real world. But if you took, I always say the difference between a bullhead T and a Y, an idea of how the air flows. I always think of air as a bunch of cars moving through the ductwork.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just a big old highway
It's
across.
easy to show.
Right.
Yeah, you can visualize that very
Right.
easily. Yeah.
So go to I love putt-putt. So you go to putt-putt and you go to that one course and it's a straight shot down the middle and then you hit a wall and you got to go left or right.
Yep.
And we always know if you hit that wall straight on, the ball's coming right back at you. Right.
Yep.
Now you go to the next course and it's got the little V.
Yeah.
So the V zoom.
You know it's going to go somewhere.
Right. So now go to that same course, get you a 55-gallon bucket of golf balls. All right. And just pour them out down that straight one. And most of them are going to come bouncing right back at you.
Beat on each other.
Beat on each other and all that. Then if you go to the other course, which got the V in it, pour out that same bucket or all those golf balls, and they will smoothly go left and right.
There you go. There you go.
And that's the way air moves through a ductwork, And just think about it. A box is nothing but a traffic jam,
That's all it is.
But if you can do the straight run like a tree trunk,
Yeah.
or you can do the splitter left and right, Now you'll get smoother air, better readings, better performance.
Yeah,
All the
absolutely.
way around.
We think about that square box, and all we're doing is just pushing pressure into a container and trying to give it a place to relieve its pressure.
Right, right. And I said, where does a plumber take a 2-inch water pipe and run it into a box under your house and then just do PEX everywhere, willy nilly, anywhere it goes? We know that won't work.
Yeah, right.
We know you need a straight main, and you've got the hard turns coming off of it for your hot and cold. Air flows the same way. It's just another fluid.
Yeah,
You know?
it is. We're still moving an object
Yeah.
or another.
Yeah. We don't realize it, but I mean, there's that stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
There's gases in there that have physical properties to
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I guess
and-
density.
We just don't, even power energy companies, I've had to explain to them that you may be doing static pressure and thinking you get 0.5, you're perfect, but would you ever want to start out a system at its maximum rated static pressure?
Exactly. That's a crazy thing to think about in our industry.
Yeah, there's
But-
no room for dirt.
Yeah, yeah. I get that all the time. And unfortunately, it's become like the norm even for people who don't test.
Yeah, right.
I had it in my own home, bought a brand new home it's been 4 or 3 years now. Had 7-degree difference between first floor and second
Oh
floor.
boy. Yeah.
Right? So raise my hand up and try not to tell them what I do. Hey, can you guys come back and double check my
Right.
ductwork for me? I'd really love for you to.
Right.
Few more calls, quite a few more.
Oh,
calls
yeah,
later.
oh, yeah.
They got it down a couple of degrees, and I just happened to be walking by, and I go, "Hey guys, I hate to be one of them, homeowner YouTuber guys, but I heard that I ought to have my static pressure checked on a system if I'm having problems like this. Do you know what it is? Yeah. No, you're good. You're 1/2 inch static.
That's right.
I'm like,
oh yeah.
Where's your manometers? I wanted to call him out so bad. As I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ride this sucker.
That's right. That's right.
23 service calls later, we finally walked away to happy medium. 23.
Well, and another thing you mentioned too is that it's not just overall static; it's where is the static?
Yeah, where's it hiding? Yeah, where's
Exactly.
it resting at? Yeah.
Like somebody says, "Well, I got 0.5." I said, "Well, yeah, but what if
Where?
0.4 was on the return?"
Yeah,
You don't want that.
right.
You'll pull water off the coil. Your filters
Absolutely.
won't work. You drain. Oh, don't get me started on drain lines and static pressure. Because I went to a lot of terrible site visits, and the big M word was all over the stuff,
Yeah.
and it was all because the drain wasn't working because the static was too
Pulled
high on
back
the
through.
return.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen too many air handlers with ruined motors, and all you gotta do is take a cover off and you look inside and go, well, I don't even have to get my tools out yet. I can tell you what's going on in this duct system.
When you see splattered stuff all over the blower housing, trust me,
You
it's
know what's
been
going on.
all over. Exactly.
Yeah, your drain is a pretty hefty return at that point.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Just some
is.
velocity, enough velocity to pull water.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can't, and don't do the J traps anymore.
Yeah.
Those are too shallow. I mean, not the J traps, the P
The
traps.
big piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Do the deep J's, like the Easy Trap has got the perfect
Yeah,
dimension.
those are really cool. That's
They-
what I have on
They're,
my flat.
I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah,
But
to actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
They got plenty of
Mhm.
room. Holds a nice deep pocket. Yeah.
Yep. Saw a great training video, which I would like to recreate.
Mhm.
Old quality, but a guy had clear J traps, deep traps,
Mhm.
and clear shallow traps.
Mm.
And he put different filters in the air handler, and he put food dye in the water, so you could watch the water literally suck itself back up in the air handler.
Absolutely, and you can actually sit and watch the actual static pressures in the process.
Yeah.
See who pulls from what.
Yeah. I have found a vendor of
Dude.
clear PVC
Yeah,
that I saw in a couple of her shows, and I'm going to build it.
you should.
And you can
I
watch that
that.
water just back up, get sucked right back in there.
Well, that's some entertainment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see exactly what you're going for.
Yep. Yep.
That's absolutely a perfect demonstration.
And there's another one. I'll do a shout out if somebody can help me.
Uh-oh.
There is I've got a copy of it. It is a very, very old black and white SMACNA video where they built a Pixie class duct system. And they designed a bubble generator where the bubbles, they literally had to create their own composition of bubbles. The bubbles have the density of the air, so they float in the airstream, and they elongate when the air is straight, and they turbulence when there's turbulent air. They put a strobe light on it,
Okay.
and you can see all the air, boom, boom, and then they change out different fittings on the ductwork
Yeah, just to see the
to
changes
see the
on it.
turbulence.
Uh-huh.
And I've got an old copy of it. I called SMACNA.
Yeah.
found an engineer who said, "Oh, that thing is in a closet somewhere." I said, "I want it.
Can I come on?
I want
Let
it.
me sort through that closet.
I
for
will
you.
buy it. I will build." But apparently, it's all gone now.
Oh, no.
I think. If not, I want it back. And I would like to recreate that because
It's really cool.
seeing is believing,
Oh, absolutely.
and people need to see what's happening inside that ductwork.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Awesome. Well, man, I've had a lot of fun. You had fun?
Oh, absolutely. This is. I love this event. It's great. You know, getting to know other guys and connecting with everybody, and the amount of information that's available now is wonderful.
It's amazing. I think we've got another class getting out. I see people and hear the voices.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll wrap it up. All right. So, Joey, how can people connect with you if they're wanting to learn more about what you're doing out here in the training world?
Well, if you just Google Joey Henderson, JoJo the HVAC man, you'll come up with my YouTube link and you'll come up with my website. And I got 15, 20-minute videos on YouTube channel, and I'm going to be adding some more content here pretty soon.
Love it. Thank you,
great.
friends. Great hanging
Thank
out.
you. Nice talking to you.
See you later now.
Appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye.